In bank services, you must first establish codes and settings for transaction types, credit cards, general ledger integration, and bank accounts. Let's take a look at bank services setup.
There are several settings that should be defined in setup first. The Options window allows you to define settings for entering bank transfer transactions. Here, you can define a transfer adjustment GL account and the next transfer number. The system will automatically generate transfer numbers in sequence. The posting sequence number represents the next posting sequence number to be used. Transaction types allow you to define codes for GL accounts that can aid in data entry. You can enter a transaction type code and description, and then assign that code to a GL account. When entering transactions, you can type in the GL account directly, or you can type in the transaction type and the GL account automatically appears. You may find it helpful to type in SC for service charges rather than remember 6110 as the GL account. Credit card types allow you to define names of credit card brands that will be used on transaction entry when credit card information is entered. From this window, you can enter a credit card type and description. The GL integration window is a feature across all subledgers that allow you to define how and when transactions flow into the GL, and what information appears as descriptions on journal entries. Here on the integration page, you define when GL batches are created. Your options are during posting, which means every time you post transactions they will automatically be sent to a batch in the GL, or on request using the Create GL Batch icon, which lets you choose when to send transactions over to the GL. You also select how the GL batches are created. Your options are adding to an existing batch, which adds entries to open batches in the GL from the same module, creating a new batch, and creating and posting a new batch. This last option means that batches that are sent to the GL are also automatically posted in the GL. This essentially makes your GL real-time. Finally, on the integration page, you select your consolidation options for sending transactions to the GL. Remember that if you select to send transactions to the GL in consolidated format, you lose the powerful drill-down functionality. The Transactions page allows you to specify the information that is carried with each transaction type into the GL journal entry descriptive fields. For each transaction type for the module, you choose one or more pieces of information to flow to the journal entry header description field and detail reference, description, and comment fields. Select the transaction type and click Open to open the integration detail window. On this window, you select the specific pieces of information that flow to the GL transaction field. You can include multiple pieces of information and specify a segment separator. Remember that you are limited to the field size of the descriptive field that you are sending information to. Anything longer than the field size is truncated. After setup, you must establish at least one bank in order to enter bank-related transactions anywhere in the system. Banks are created in the Banks window. You must enter a bank code and description for the bank. On the profile page, you can enter transit and account number information. You can also enable this bank for multi-currency if this feature is available. If you enable multi-currency for this bank, you must also specify the statement currency. There will also be a currency page that appears. On the currency page, you can specify which transaction currencies are available for this bank. You can specify default exchange rate types and the exchange gain, loss, and rounding error accounts. Note that these accounts are not unrealized, but rather realized. This is because any currency translation affecting the bank account will result in a real gain or loss. Also remember that when multi-currency is selected, it cannot be deselected. The profile page lets you enter the next deposit slip number and spread amounts for errors and write-offs, credit card charges, and exchange rate differences. Spread amounts mean that discrepancies within the spread are automatically posted to a corresponding GL account, while discrepancies greater than the spread can still be cleared but can include additional information and flagged for follow-up on the reconciliation status report. There is an inactive checkbox available on this page. If a bank is set as inactive, it prevents users from entering transactions outside of bank services for this bank. However, you will still be able to enter transactions for an inactive bank from within bankServices. The Accounts page allows you to define the GL accounts for the bank, write-offs and errors, and credit card charges. The Address page stores the bank address information. The Check Stocks page allows you to define check forms that will be used in each module that can produce checks: AR, AP, and payroll. Each check must have a stock code to identify it and can be linked to a custom check form or one of the standard forms available. You can enter the next check number here, although this can be overridden at the time of printing checks. You can also indicate the type of check form that it is, the number of detail lines on the advice, and the check language. The Balance page offers the greatest illustration of the strength of bankServices. On this page, you can see a rough estimation of the bank balance. This number will include any deposit entries entered in AR, any withdrawal entries entered in AR, AP, and payroll, and any bank entries entered in bankServices. This page also provides information on the last reconciliation.
Please proceed to bank reconciliation.